They were the commands that would open the box. There were 10 given out of the 12, and the 2 would have to be given by the higher races. We get into the story of the 10 commandments. There's a lot more to those commandments than they ever told us. The original 10 commandments were the security release tones. They were the combinations of light, symbol, sound tones to be used in sequence to open the seals on the Ark of the Covenant box so you could get in there to get the tools out. Now, there's a lot more. I won't go too much into the 10 Commandments story now because it's part of a much longer history that I'll get more into this afternoon. But that gets into Moses and Abraham and a bunch of other famous characters that we know very well from the biblical teachings. The important thing about understanding this whole thing, I chuckle sometimes when I think about it because it's like, of course, once you see it, that's how it affected me. When I saw how the history has unfolded and what the purposes were, it was like, oh God, of course, that's what it's been all about. But until that point, you have no idea. It doesn't look like anything's connected with anything. It's all been about a quest for who's going to get control of these gates in the 2017 stellar activation cycle. And it wasn't the first time that quest was. Before the Ark of the Covenant box was ever made, because that was relatively recent. That was made in 9,540 BC, after the flood of 9,558 BC. Yeah, it was, so it wasn't the quest for the Ark itself that had been the main motivator of history before that. It was the Grail quest that was before that. And the quest for the Ark is part of the Grail quest. Because the Grail, the Holy Grail of the planet, is the Templar system. It's the system of stargates that allow the perpetual life force frequencies to run through. It's the cup. This is the symbolism that has come down. The Holy Grail wasn't the cup that Christ drank out of. Well, it was, in a way, but it wasn't a cup that you hold in your hand. It wasn't a manufactured cup. It was the Holy Grail of the body that the perpetual life force currents ran through, and we all have one. It's the internal Holy Grail. There has been a quest for literally millions of years. Since the first seeding, the fallen angelics have been questing to get control of Earth's Templar in order to use it to get control of the crystal pylon temples from the halls of Mente Stargates so they could use them to get control of this time matrix.